What's going on, guys? Welcome back to All Night MMA. Today, we're going to find out who my GOAT is. This is my list. Don't get too mad at it. We're also going to start off with an honorable mention, so let's get started. Before we do get started, this is like a Mount Rushmore type video, so there's going to be 4 fighters with 1 honorable mention. That makes it 5. Kind of just like rounds out the number a bit. I know it's not an even number, but still. Let's get started! Alright, we're getting started with my honourable mention, that being my favourite fighter of all time, Max Holloway. He's one of the greatest featherweight champions of all time. He's top 2, for sure. He's a 2-division champion with that BMF belt he's got right here, in my opinion. I think he could be fighting for the undisputed title within the next, let's say, like 10 months, in the next year. Look at his record here. He retired Dustin Poirier in a great fight. Max Holloway pretty much won almost every round, apart from maybe the second round. I can't remember which one he got dropped in, but, you know, it doesn't really matter when you're up 4 rounds to 1 at the end of the fight. His next fight is against another legend at lightweight, Charles Oliveira. All 3 of these guys, Max, Dustin and Oliveira, all former featherweights. It's crazy how good featherweights get when they go up to lightweight. It's like Max, he's been on the bag in some of his training footage recently. He's just so fast. Bro, he's so fast and looks huge for lightweight. It's probably not lightweight weight right now, obviously, because it's a few weeks out. But I'm so excited for that fight. I can't wait for the rematch with Oliveira. We have to find out how that fight is really going to go. I think Max is going to get done with his striking. Oliveira can get hit. He's kind of getting outboxed by Gamrot a bit. It's going to be exciting to see. Looks like he put on a good performance and probably pushed himself for that title shot. I can't lie. Oliveira's done a 1-fight win streak. Max done a 1-fight win streak. Is it 1 or 2? I can't remember. Let's actually go check that out right now. So yeah, 12 wins by knockout, 2 wins by submission. Takedown accuracy 53%. He's a striker, he's got over half. That's crazy. This is the most in UFC history significant strikes landed. Significant strike attempts, 7,000 in like 31 fights in the UFC or something like that. Look at all these stats, they're crazy. So many shots to the head of his opponents, obviously. 12 KOs, 13 decisions, 2 submissions. That's crazy. He's got to win everywhere. Most of his strikes come in the standing position, not in the clinch or ground, even though there's still quite a good amount, but like 5 and 7% compared. Let's see his last 5 fights. Let's just see his last 5 fights. Oh, Arnold Allen's there from 2023. He's had 5 fights in 2023. That's pretty good activity. Like very good activity. Won almost all of them. Bit Arnold Allen put in a good performance. Arnold Allen's one of my favourite fighters as well. So it's Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie got KO though. That was a nasty KO in Singapore. Great performance from Max Holloway though. Korean Zombie's retirement fight. In his last 5, he's retired 2 guys. Oliveira might be next. Hope Arnold Allen comes back with a good win. The Chunks and Jungs fully enjoying retirement. Good friends with Max Holloway, of what I've seen in his vlogs, which is pretty cool. Justin Gaethje fight, man. Probably the knockout of all time. The greatest knockout of all time in the UFC. Happened in the UFC 300. It couldn't get any better than that. Last second of the fight, just KOs him out cold while pointing down in the fight he was winning all. Pointing down. How did I get on camera? Pointing down in the fight he was winning all 5 rounds of, if not 4-1, if you can even give any to Gaethje. Obviously lost the Poirier fight. He had to come down, man, from being bulked up at lightweight to featherweight, which drained him a bit. You can probably tell in the fight a little bit, maybe, but he looks so much better at lightweight now. Especially his career's getting on a bit. He's getting on a bit. 34. He's probably still in his prime for lightweight right now, since he's been featherweight most of his career. I trust him in getting that belt. You know, he's good. He's got the skill set. He's got the skill set to beat Topuria up at 155. Like, I just know it. I've been saying it. I keep saying it. But he can do it, in my opinion. Obviously, his next fight's coming up with Charles Oliveira soon, in a couple of weeks. Be a maximum honorable mention. Alright, moving on to the first spot on the Mount Rushmore. We have Alexander Volkanovski. Come on, man. How do you not put him up there as one of the top 4 of all time in the UFC? Or in MMA history. The amount this guy's done in the sport is insane. Just have to get in the belt back at, 36 years old. Undeniable to put him up there. Dominated Diego Lopez twice. And Diego Lopez is good. He's like a good fighter. Let's go down and take a look at some of Volk's stats. 13 wins by knockout. Is that more than Max? That's crazy. 3 wins by submission. That's 1 more than Max again. 7 first-round finishes. Really? That's crazy. Looking at his last 5 fights. Again, like Max, he's won most of them. He's won 3 of his last 5. Max has won 4 of his last 5, but it's like fair enough. Especially when these are the only 2 losses in the UFC. Well, you get 3 losses in the UFC if counting the first fight between Volk and Makhachev. He probably shouldn't have took the fight. Makhachev's probably got an opponent in at lightweight at the time, but probably Volk could probably make that weight because he's a featherweight, you know. Lost to Topuria, that's not bad at all. You've seen where both these guys have gone. Double champs now. And that's your only 2 losses to guys in the UFC. Like what? You have to put him up there. Destroyed Jay Rodriguez. Where's the Korean Zombie? Destroyed the Korean Zombie. Beat Max 3 times. Demolished Diego Lopez twice. Like, I don't see him losing. I don't see him losing his belt. Beat Aldo. I think he beats Gene Silva. I think he beats Laurel Murphy. I think he beats Mozvarevloev. He's fought in like 4 different weight classes and has wins in most of them. He's like a loss at welterweight and a couple losses at featherweight. and one at lightweight, right? But not bad at all. Like, not bad at all. 28-4. What record? What a record. Insane, man. Alexander Volkanovski's going on the first spot of the Mount Rushmore. Let's get into the next one. Right up next, the man who beat Volk. One of the men who beat Volk, Islam Makhachev. Makhachev dominated Del Madalena to get the 170-pound belt. Great performance, 28-1. Only loss is like a fluke KO, I guess, from a guy who was not nowhere near his skill level. But Makhachev was a young fighter, like, 11 years ago this year? Can't really judge him for that. 16-fight win streak. It was the highest in the UFC title Anderson Silva, I'm pretty sure. He's one more to break that record and be number 1. 5 wins by knockout, fair enough. 13 wins by submission. Lots of dash chokes. Well, likes his dash chokes. Less takedown attempted than Volk, which is kind of crazy. Striking actually is good. He's good at striking, man. A lot of people try to downplay Makhachev's striking, but takedown defense, 91%. Average fight time, 11 minutes. He's not a decision merchant these days, man. Let's take a look at Makhachev's last 5 fights. It's not a bad lineup at all, man. 2 wins over Volk, win over Poirier, win over Moicano, win over Del Madalena, and then before that to get the belt, win over Oliveira. This is a very stacked resume. Destroyed Moicano, which he should have done. It would have been a much better fight to see him fight Sarukin, but Sarukin's own fault for that one. Poirier possibly gave him the hardest fight of his career. Let's be honest, that was like a 5-round war till it's about the end. Set him up to fight Max for the BMF belt. Because he's a BMF. Volk, obviously, the first fight. I feel like Volk won the fight, but, you know, the judges gave it to Makhachev. They clearly saw him do enough. It wasn't like a robbery in his hometown or anything. It was actually was it in Sydney, Australia? Didn't realise the Volk, man. 116 v double champion. Overall, Makhachev has a stacked record. He's a great fighter. I think he'll defend his belt a few times. He said he's down to fight Ilya Taporia at the White House. That would be a cool fight to see. Like, that's a fight everyone wants to see. It's like the biggest fight right now in the UFC. But, you know, I'm down to see that. Alright, so Makhachev takes the 2nd spot on the Mount Rushmore. GSP on the 3rd spot of the Mount Rushmore. Obviously, his last fight was a while ago in 2017 against Bisping. Shout out Bisping for going on a great fight with him. Bisping's a legend, man. Obviously, I'm from the UK. 13-fight win streak before he retired. Wins by decision 12. 9 title defenses. That's crazy, man. He's up there for sure as one of the GOATs. If not the GOAT. Go down to some of his stats. 13-fight win streak, 12 wins by decision, 9 title defenses. Takedown accuracy, man. 137 attempted. I think he's 2nd now in UFC history because Marab passed him last year. That's kind of crazy. Only now are people starting to beat his record when he's been gone for so long. Striking accuracy, man. He threw a lot of strikes, man. Damn. Obviously, still significantly a lot less than Holloway, but still. Looking at his last 5 fights, dating all the way back to 2012 when I was 5 years old. That's crazy. Number 17, 2012. Number 18, 2012. Number 17, 2012. I feel like this could be wrong. Not gonna lie. Let's go with Jake Shields as being his actual 5th last fight, I guess. Look, actually, just looking down his resume, like, I know, you know all these names. You still know all these names. BJ Penn, lots of these names you all know. They're all legends of the sport in their own ways. Became a 2-division champion, beating Bisping at MSG in 2017. That's crazy. St. versus Hendricks was what everyone called a robbery. I obviously wasn't a fan at the time, but I've watched the fight back. It probably was a bit of a robbery, to be fair, based on the way GSP looked at the end of the fight compared to Johnny Hendricks. Is what it is. That's probably why he chose to leave for 4 years. Nick Diaz, legend. Carlos Condit, legend. Jake Shields, well known. Josh Rushik, well known. British MMA, like, legend, I guess. Dan Hardy. BJ Penn's obviously a legend. Another 2-division champion. GSP just has one of the greatest records of all time in MMA and in the UFC. It's kind of crazy to see it. He's retired, but he's been hitting a comeback. Like, that'd be cool to see him fight again, I guess. Maybe against the aliens. Let's go and put GSP on the 3rd spot of the Mount Rushmore. Let's get into my final pick, and possibly my GOAT of the sport, Demetrius Johnson. Absolute legend, most title defenses in history. Obviously, his last fight in the UFC was a loss to Cejudo, a prime Cejudo. Not a bad loss at all. 27-3 record overall. It's a great record right there. 11 wins by sub. 11 title defenses, most in UFC history. I don't think anyone's going to beat that for a long time. Until I get in the UFC. Come on. Nope, never happening. I don't think. That's not another stat here. That's crazy. Alright. Loads of takedowns attempted, obviously. Great striker. Some knockouts in his career. Some cool knockouts in his career, of course. Take a look at his last 5 fights. I know all these names still. It's not like... Obviously, flyweight is probably more shallow than it is now. It's pretty stacked these days. But, you know, like, if we go back down a few fights... Horiguchi, man. Horiguchi's made himself a comeback after fighting Demetrius Johnson for the title. Why is there no win or lose, man? This fight is so bad. Obviously, Demetrius Johnson won that. And there's no Demetrius Johnson in Horiguchi's way anymore in the big 2026. So he probably can become champion. Obviously, beat Cejudo. Knocked him out, right? Yep, KO with a... Was it like a knee? Johnson versus Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott's still doing well in the UFC. Beat Kai Sakura by just being unpredictable. Rice. I know who this guy is, but I don't really know much about him. But he'd get subbed in round 3 or 5, most likely. 2017, 2018. Ray Borg, the Mighty Wiz bar, flew in the air. Came down with an arm bar, submitted him. Ray Borg was tough during that fight, man. Like, a lot of these contenders were super young when they fought Demetrius Johnson in his prime. But, you know, they were good enough at the time. Of course, Henry Cejudo beat Demetrius Johnson, which got him traded off to win the championship with Ben Askren, of all people. Not the best move from the UFC. And if Demetrius Johnson was around today, us fans would fucking love him, bro. I don't think people respected him enough back in the day, man. Demetrius Johnson's my GOAT of MMA. This video's probably not too long, because there's really not much for to talk about, and I don't really go through the life stories. There's probably great documentaries out there for you to go and watch on that from loads of different YouTubers. So yeah, Mighty Mouse goes in my top spot of Mount Rushmore as my GOAT of the sport. It kind of goes between GSP and Mighty Mouse, but I'd say Mighty Mouse is my GOAT right now. Really want to go on the Mighty Cast one day. One day when I'm big enough on YouTube, I'll go on the Mighty Cast. It's like a faraway dream, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was my MMA Mount Rushmore. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell me any more video ideas you want me to do. That's kind of like a different one from me. And then I'll see you in the next one. Peace!